we will be discussing the principle behind algebra. First, we will be discussing equation. Equation shows two values that are equal. For example, 1 plus 2 equals 3. Now, this value, 1 plus 2, is equal to this value. So, it is separated by the equal sign. So the value to the left of the equal sign is equal to the value equal to the right of the equal sign. Let's say we have the same value. 6 is equal to 6. So this is an equation. It's equal 6. This one is equal to that one. But if we add value like plus 2 on the left side, we need to add 2 on the right side to make it equal. So they would still be equal. So let's say another example. 6 is equal to 6. So if we subtract 2 on the left side, we need to subtract 2 on the right side to make them both equal. Okay, same number. 6 is equal to 6. If we multiply the left side by 2, we have to multiply the right side by 2. And it will be equal. Again, so we have the same number. 6 is equal to 6. It's an equation. If we divide this one by 2, we have to divide the other side by 2 to make them equal. Another form to write this one is by let's say 6 is equal to 6. Another form to show the division, we can put it in the denominator. So this is also the 6 divided by 2. So if we divide this by 2, you have to divide this also by 2. So it will be equal. If we want to square, like for example, 6 is equal to 6. If we square this one, multiply by itself, you have to square the other side as well. So it will be the same. Let's say if we have 16 is equal to 16, if we get the square root of the left side, we have to get the square root of the right side to make it equal. We will now be discussing about variables. Variables are symbols that represent a number. For example, x plus 3 is equal to 7. So x is the variable. It represents a number in this equation. Now variable, it comes from the word vary because it's always changing. For example, in here, obviously x is equal to 4 because 4 plus 3 is equal to 7. But in a second example, x plus 2 is equal to 5. In here, your x is now 3. So 3 plus 3 equals to 5. So the x value changed from 4 to 3. It varies. It changes. So this is called the variable. Now we can use these principles to solve for variables. For example, we have x plus 2 is equal to 6. Now, you want to solve for the value of x. What the best thing to do is to remove any number that is associated with your variable. There was a plus 2 in here, and you want to remove the plus 2. So, to remove the plus 2, you have to subtract it by 2. For example, so in here, x plus 2, you want to remove 2. So x plus 2 is equal to 6. You want to remove 2, you have to subtract this by 2, so that will be removed. But since you subtracted the left side by 2, you have to subtract the right side by 2 as well. So this becomes 0. So what's left is x. 6 minus 2 is 4. So your x is equal to 4. So 4 plus 2 is equal to 6. Now, some people, some teachers, they teach transposition. So like x plus 2 is equal to 6. You transpose this one to the other side, make it negative. X is equal to 6 minus 2. Make it negative. It's not, so it doesn't have a logic in it. But actually, what happened is when you subtracted everything by 2, becomes this one. It's still the same. So the 2 in here becomes negative 2 in here, but actually you subtracted 2 on both sides. So it's in shortcut, it will become like this. But this is the original logic. Okay, another example. X minus 2 is equal to 6. So you want to remove minus 2, x minus 2 to on the left side to get x, to isolate x. So minus 2, to remove minus 2, you have to add 2. And then if you add 2 on the left side, you have to add 2 on the right side. Now, what happens is, so this one becomes 0. So what's left is x. So 6 plus 2 is 8. Again, it's like what happened in some teachers, they teach that x minus 2 equals 6. You transpose negative 2, it becomes positive. So it becomes x is equal to 6 plus 2. This is a shortcut, but the original equation is this one. You added 2 on both sides. 2x, for example, 2x is equal to 6. So your x has a factor of 2, so 2 times x. So to remove the 2, we get the opposite of this operation. Same as in here, you get the opposite. It is plus 2, you have to subtract by 2. In here this is minus 2, you have to add 2. You get the opposite operation. So in here it is multiplied by 2, so you want to divide this by 2 to remove the numbers and leave the variable. So if you want to remove 2 from here, you have to divide it by 2. Of course, you have to divide 2 on the other side. Then this would cancel out. 2 divided by 2 is 1, or what will be left is x. And then 6 divided by 2 is 3. So we have divided both sides by 2 to remove 2 in here to get the value of x, to isolate x. Now that some teachers they teach the shortcut. If you have 2x is equal to 6, you can transpose the 2, but since multiplication, you have to put it in the denominator. So this one, this becomes x is equal to 6 over 2. This one is the same as this one, but this is the original idea. The logic behind it is you don't transpose it and put it in the denominator. You have to you divided both sides by 2, and it will look like this eventually, like the shortcut. Now for another example is x squared is equal to 16. Now if you only want x, this is x squared, so to remove the square, you have to get the square root. If you get the square root of x squared, it will become x. But since you did the square root on the left, you have to do the square root on the right. So this will become 4. So if you substitute 4 in there, 4 squared is 16. Another example is the square root of x is equal to 3. Now this is the square root of x, but we want the value x. Now to get the value x, we need to square this one, and it will become x. So you square the square root of x, it will become x. Now since you square the left side, you have to square the other side as well. So 3 squared is 3 times 3 is 9. So if you substitute 9 here, so the square root of 9 is 3. Now we have if example we have a combination. of numbers. For example, we have 2x plus 7 minus 3 divided by 4 is equal to 3. There's a normal sequence of removing these numbers to leave the x value alone. First is to remove the denominators. Number 2, remove the addition and subtraction values or subtraction values. So you can do it on the same level. It doesn't matter which one goes first. And the third factor is remove the factors. So first, we need to remove 4 because that's the denominator in this equation. I'll just rewrite it. 7 minus 3 over 4 is equal to 3. Now, we want to remove 4, and this is division. So, this is divided by this one. So, the opposite of division is multiplication. So, we multiply this one by 4. But since we multiply the left side by 4, you have to multiply the right side by 4. Now, if we will multiply, this one and this one will cancel out because 4 divided by 4 is equal to 1. So, this will cancel out. What is left is 2x plus 7 minus 3 is equal to 12. Now, the next one is addition or subtraction. So, it doesn't matter if you remove this one first or this one first because they're on the same level. Let's remove the negative minus 3 first. So, 2x plus 7 minus 3 is equal to 12. To remove minus 3, you have to add 3. So, if you add 3 on the left side, you have to add 3 on the right side. This would cancel out. Minus 3 plus 3 is 0. So, what is left will be 2x plus 7. 12 plus 3 is 15. To remove 7, this is plus 7. 2x plus 7 is equal to 15. To remove plus 7, you have to subtract because the opposite of plus is minus. So, minus 7 minus 7. So, 7 minus 7 is 0. So, what's left is 2x. 15 minus 7 is 8. Now, and the third one is factors. There's a factor of 2. You have to remove this factor 2 from x. Now, this is multiplication. So, the opposite of multiplication is division. So, you have to divide this by 2. So since you divide the left side by 2, you have to divide the right side by 2. So, 2 divided by 2 would cancel out. So, 2 divided by 2 is 1, so what's left is x. 8 divided by 2 is 4. And you can do a check. So, if x is equal to 4, you substitute 4 in the value, in this value. So, this is, let's write it in here, 2. Since before we can replace now x with 4 to check if we have the right answer. So 2x, so 4 plus 7 minus 3 divided by 4 is equal to 3. So 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 4 is 8. 8 plus 7, 15 minus 3 is 12. So 8 plus 7, 15 minus 3 is 12. So 12 divided by 4 is equal to 3. 12 divided by 4 is 3, which is equal to 3. So if these two values are equal, then your answer is correct.